Hello and welcome to the Stock Planner channel. Hope you had a very relaxing weekend. But if you're serious about trading, you really need to get a plan together for Monday morning. In this video, I'll go through many stocks. I'll check my watch list. I'll do a quick overview of the market, and I'll try to predict or guess which way the market is going. All traders make trade decisions with their assumptions. I think it's important to track those assumptions rather than tracking the actual trades. My broker does that quite well. So I try to see how good I am at making some assumptions. And one of those assumptions is direction. Another one as well is duration. But these are not trade recommendations. Must do your own due diligence. Getting started, I'm looking at FinViz, and this is the market Friday. Looks a little red to me. All the big boys too. Microsoft, NVDA, Google, Amazon, Walmart, Apple, Cisco. Not happy. All the major indices ended up in red. NASDAQ down to 1%. S&P is also down. All the groups did not do well. Overall, looks like it ended up a bad week. So what we with that in mind, is there a pullback occurring after the big bubble, the tech bubble, the AI bubble? I'm a swing trader. I look for the bottoms and tops of the market and then take the trend in between. And if I could do this perfectly, like this zigzag indicator does, it perfectly picks the tops and bottoms every single time. How does it do that? Well, it looks for future data, then repaints itself. It's sort of like Monday night quarterback predicting the games for Sunday. You can do it perfectly. But I use a zigzag so that when I see it doesn't know what it's doing, that's when I start looking. It was going up. Perhaps maybe it's going down. And then I use other indicators that don't repaint themselves to try to predict when it's going to go up or down. I'm looking for those reversals and then trying to capture that trend in between. So this is Friday on the SPY using the daily time frame and trading view. This is the MACD, the stochastics, and the RSI. And all three of these within a couple bars are indicating that it's going to be short. So we were going up. Now it looks like it's going down. That was a nice strong trend. There is your 50% retracement. If you believe in that story, I do. And so it made good to come down and then bounce off. That's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have a pullback this week, but it's not long term. We're in a bull market. So I'm saying SPY is going long. Same with the Qs, short pullback, and then long. So this next week, I'm saying short. And for IWM, I think the pullback has occurred, and we might be marching to the upside. I'm still calling this overall short, and it's based on the indicators a few days ago, but this might be over. So as I said, I have a spreadsheet that I track my assumptions or guesses, my decision-making abilities, and I've updated that spreadsheet. In fact, I've updated it for everything I'm going to talk about today. And here's the three shorts, and based on Fridays, I'm winning. And if that continues, I'll have a win here. And then I count the number of wins. And currently, based on my projections and when I did made the predictions, I'll track my win percentages. 60% is satisfactory for me because I do option trades, and that's about 1 month out. And that's what this sheet's trying to track my decision-making ability about 1 month out. There's the expire date, 1 month from the day. 1 month from the 13th, that's when I first said it was going to go short. Looking at gold, GLD is the ticker, daily time frame. You can see it does swing nicely, but it's very volatile. The MACD has just had a crossover, which indicates maybe it should go down. The stochastics is under the 20 and looks like it's pointing upward. And the RSI is under the 30 and looked like it coming around. These two indicators are indicating a long, and the MACD is indicating a short. The zigzag doesn't know what it's doing. It wasn't a downtrend. And right now it's waiting for some definition. And maybe it was thinking it was going to go up, but Friday's candle was definitely down. So I think, based on what I see in the amount of time it's spent, I think it's going to spend a little time in this area. And this green lines are 3% off the close. 183 and 173. So I'm going to call this neutral and see if there's a play in option strat that I can capture that. Click on neutral. This is the current price and the budget. I don't want to spend more than $500. About 30 days out. That's what I'm trying to predict, 30 days out. And a neutral play. There's an iron butterfly and an under condor. 183. And this one, it'll have a winner if it's 182. And this one is 173. And we said we want it to be around 173. So here's an iron condor where you risk $287, risking $300 to make $300 if you think it's going to stay in this area here. So I think gold is going to move within a 3% range for the next month. I really don't know about silver, but a 3% range is about there. Drawing a line, 3% is about there. Draw the line. And since we call gold neutral, we'll call this neutral. I don't know. Just taking a guess. I'm not trading silver this week. As a swing trader, if you can catch these tops and bottoms, and this is copper, you can make some serious bank looking at the bottoms and tops and capturing the trend in between. Around 16 June, we had the MACD well above the zero. The stochastics has come around, and the RSI. That's a downward trend. There may be some support there and support there. XLE is a energy ETF. Its high was way back in February or January, and it has been declining ever since. There does seem like there's a level of support at this location, and that'd be around $77. Some people will see a resistance at 83. The MACD is pointing down. The stochastic says it's oversold, and the RSI is saying it's oversold. It may come back around soon. I really have no idea, but my prediction is that the XLE ETF is going to go up based on my indicators and based on the level of support. So I put a little long arrow there. And I'm saying 30 days from now, the XLE ETF will be higher than it is today. FXI, again, you can catch those swings. You're doing very well. Remember, this is a zigzag indicator. It repaints itself based on some future data. Right now, the zigzag really doesn't know what it's doing. It's going down, whereby it painted a line going up. It's still not sure yet. On Friday, June 16th, last week, we had a sell signal, and it looked like it was a valid one. And I have no reason to change my mind. The Chinese economy is not good. My wife is Chinese, and she says it's rough over there, even though the tourism is starting to come back. This is the Brazil ETF, EWZ. It's one of the first ETFs I ever traded way back when. You can see it, the zigzag, after looking at the future data, it made a nice long line. If you could catch that. But look at all the pain you would have had if you hanged on. You would have watched your equity decrease. And same with here. You'd have to have nerves of steel to ride that out. And now the zigzag doesn't know what it's doing. It's not painting that blue line anymore. The RSI is well above the zero. And we had a crossover a few days later. But I don't just rely on that. We've had the stochastic come back around and the RSI above the 70 and come back around. That's these three singles. I consider sometimes the three indicator strategy when all three occur. That's a pretty strong signal that it might go down for a little while. And so I'm calling EWZ a short. No reason to change. Leaving the ETFs, we'll go on to the FANG plus a little bit more stocks. Looking at Apple, Wow. There may be a small pullback to 175, but right now, nothing seems to stop Apple. We have a top rider on the RSI. It looked like a top rider on stochastics. And it looks like we got a little crossover on the MACD. But Apple is just so hyped up with this AI. Guess I'm going to go with the trend line and not my feelings. Apple long. This is AMD. Way back when I drew this line. It seems to be fairly accurate. The yellow one's mine. The blue and the pink or purple is the zigzag. Right now the zigzag doesn't know what it's doing. And I must say, this looks like a downtrend, and that downtrend is going to continue. Now, the indicators way back said it was going to go down here, but it went up a little bit. Now it's coming back down. Just was a little early. This is a good stop. Short AMD. Amazon. Way back when we had an MACD crossover way below the zero line. I like that when it happens. The RSI and the stochastics was recently oversold, and it was a little early, a little pain, and then it turned around and came back. That trend, if you can catch that, is sweet. The zigzag knows what it's doing. It thinks it's going to go up. And if you look at past history, there's some room for Amazon to return the previous heights. So there's got a little ways to go. This is a great stock. Probably a stock for the decade. I was going to say century, but decade. Long. No reason to change directions. Next, we're looking at BABA. And you can see it swings nicely, but I can tell you this. The 2 times I traded it in the last couple months, my trades ended up losing. It looks like now the MACD is crossing down. The stochastic, it's come back around and heading to south. And the RSI, the same way. That occurred just a few days ago. We draw a little vertical line, change the color to be red for short. And you got earnings coming up. Last couple days it's been losing. Seems like there's a level of support there and a level of resistance there. Trading is deciding which direction it'll go in the next couple days or weeks. If you're an option trader, you want at least 35 to 40 days out. I'm making a guess that this stock will be down from where it is today in about 30 days. You can also say this is a neutral trade if you want, because it's spending a lot of time in this area. The market's too volatile for the Chinese stocks, and so I'm going to say this is going to drop. This is CRISPR, the cure for cancer, biomedical, biotechnical. In this area, we had the MACD way above the zero, crossover for stochastic, and a crossover for the RSI. And that might have been a little early. There's some pain there. But now this is drifting down. And I'm going to say short for the next couple of weeks. Now, the MACD looks like it's going to have a crossover soon. The stochastic is redlining. And so is the RSI. It hasn't come back around. It's pointing down. So when this does come around, it's prime for a long single. But I don't think it's happening yet. Now, let's see. This could be a line of support there. And the indicators might say it's going to bounce off of that support and go up. This is a snowflake, and you want it to be big and green. And this is rather narrow and red, but it does have a good future. It's forecast to grow by 47%. It's trading only about 12% below its fair value. And this stock is unprofitable and not forecast to become profitable over the next year. Oh, correction, next 3 years. And the shares have been diluted. Shareholder dilution is when you sell more shares, thus your value of your existing shares become less because there's more shares that divide out. Sticking with a short. The Walt Disney Company, ticker symbol DIS. Is there some sort of a support there? Will it bounce off the support and go up? The MACD is pointing down. The stochastic is heading south. And the RSI is in the oversold situation. And it's about to come around. I think in the next month, this stock will probably come up. So I moved my long line, even though I don't have a single yet. I'm anticipating a bounce, and a single. It is summertime. And did you get a load of those prices they charge for the park? My goodness. Well, I'm going to say a long for Disney. Ford, fairly cheap stock. It's a swinging stock. And I think we're heading south. Earnings is coming up, and that could change things. Looking at Google, and the nice thing about the zigzag, even though it is a painting, repaints itself and looks to the future, it does give you your support and resistance lines quite nicely. And if you believe in the 50% retraction rule, this may pull back to this level, 107, 108. Anyway, it looks like it's pulling back now. The indicators said it was going to pull back in this area here, and it went up. There was some pain. Now things are adjusting itself. Anyway, Google, like all the AI stocks, I think is due for a pullback. It was almost a bubble. Short. MACD crossovers, stochastic crossover, and the RSI a few days before. It looks like it's going short, even though Friday, when a lot of stocks were going short, especially NASDAQ stocks, this had a green bar. Nice tradable stock. Looking at our option analyzer tool and typing in its symbol, slightly bearish, going out to the 28th. The strategy you could use is buying a long put with a potential of 410 profit and a risk of 219, a bear call spread, which is a credit spread, and a bear put spread, which is a debit spread. In other words, the difference between these two are almost the same, as you see, but this one puts $384 right in your account right away, and this one you pay $217 right away with a potential profit of $483. In your pocket, $384. Out of your pocket, $217. I usually sell credit spreads, and the bear call spread is one of my most favorite strategies. INTC short. Meta, big in AI. Nothing seems to be stopping it. Way back when, in April, at the end of April, it looked like it was going up. No reason to change course. Back in March, the MACD was way below the zero line. Crossover, stochastics, and a crossover of the RSI. While we're probably going to have a little pullback, with Microsoft being in so much industries and different things, including AI, you probably should be a buyer on this pullback somewhere. Netflix, I think, is going to be a pullback, at least to earnings, and the indicators all seem to indicate that same direction. Pullback, short-term short, Netflix. NIO, Chinese electric vehicle company, MACD, stochastics, and the RSI all pointing down. I believe Tesla is going to come down too a little bit, have a little pullback. So I'm going to say short for NIO based on the indicators. And by the way, I'm holding NIO at $40 a share. $40 a share is way back here. This is my triple bagger, but the opposite way. I'm a bag holder, a big bag holder on this. Luckily, I only own 100 shares. If she's coming around slow. NVDA, back in January, the indicators said to go long, and it's been going that way ever since. It may have a little pullback for a couple of days, but there's no stopping this stock, especially with AI and all the other things that are happening in the computer world. This is definitely a stock for the decade. All the hedge funds are buying it. PLTR Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR, looks like it's going down. All the indicators indicating that it's pointing down. I see no reason to change course. Earnings coming up. By the way, this stock is my wife's new favorite. My wife is just starting to get interested in stocks, and I asked her to pick 3 stocks that she's interested in. She picked PLTR, Tesla, and Microsoft. It looked like in May, Tesla was going to rise, and surely it did. The earnings is coming up, may have a little pullback. I'd be looking to buy. Says long. I see no reason to change it at this time. Long for Tesla. I have a free Discord chat and also have premium version. There's lots of information out there. In the free chat is where I put my latest videos and my latest trades. This was the trade I took on Friday. It was a bull put spread with a target price and stop loss listed. I have my watch list that I use every day. All the stocks that I'm trading, simply click on the link, and here's the stocks I trade. As a bonus, I put in whether they're trending or not, and this is based on a slope. Choosing Dow, Delta Airlines, it says it's in an uptrend, and the other one I'm going to look at, the other two I'm going to look at is Walmart and Visa. That's Walmart uptrend and Visa uptrend. Delta Airlines looks like it is in a long-term trend. Ticker symbol is DAL. Consolidation here, and maybe that's going to be a little bit of resistance. MACD says down, stochastic says down, and the RSI says it might go down. There might be some consolidation here, but the same thing can be said right here. And then it turned around and kept going up. Delta, the airlines are supposed to do good this summer. You'll probably see the same chart for American Airlines as well. Little pullback, long-term trend. There's that trend. Some pullback, and maybe a buy here. I periodically trade Walmart. At the right, May 31st, we can see that we had a little chance for an uptrend, and that slope is up. Should continue rising. I suspect Visa is going to have a good rest of the year. Also, in the free zone, we have some trade ideas. Simply click on the link, and you'll see the RSI, and it's currently only shorts on that. The MACD and stochastic RSI, the indicators that I use. You have to validate this on your own, using your own indicators, to see if these are valid. We're going to look at two short plays. BTI, which is British Tobacco, and it says the MACD is short. And Coca-Cola, KO, short. Likewise, MACD. Long downtrend, trying to crawl its way back up. We had an MACD crossover here. The RSI is overbought, and so is stochastic. Coca-Cola, the MACD has a kind of crossover, overbought, stochastic, and the RSI has just dipped below the 70. Pure technicals. In the premium area, I have the 3 indicator strategy. Currently looking at shorts here, mostly, and mean reversion, which means it moved in a direction, and basically it's a good stock, and it'll come back in the opposite direction, and gap fill. Looking at just 2 of these, a short on NEM and a short on BABA. Looking at BABA on the daily time frame, it had a drive upward, and now we're looking like we had a pullback. In a crossover of the MACD, the stochastics went down, and the RSI dropped below. When they all occur within 2 or 3 bars of each other, that's the 3 indicator strategy, and that gives you a strong signal to go down. And these are the little arrows that are to add more shares or increase your position. The algo says we still have some room to go down. What do you think? Newmont, drive down, consolidation, little pop up. MACD says down, stochastic said down, and the RSI said down. When they all occur within a 2 or 3 bars either, that's an indication that I believe is to go short. And these extra arrows are to add more position. Out in Omni Broker, I have a little algo, and run it when I feel like it, and it has support and resistance. And you can draw these lines yourself, but it's saying Humana, and Kroger are bobbing around support. Big gap down, Humana, that's probably the support, probably some kind of line there, and a line up there. Typically, when you had a gap down like that, probably at earnings, that gap tends to fill. And it says it hit it by support about 17 bars ago. 5, 10, there's about 15. Anyway, Kroger seems to be going down. There's that support. It's been bopping around. The MAC trend line is going up. Stochastic is not quite below its 20, but about 5 bars ago, the the RSI said go long. 5 bars ago, right here, go long. Anyway, this algo looks for buys at support and sells at resistance. And I look for the MACD as well, but that's for another time. Well, we went through a lot of stocks. It's important to use your own indicators to validate anything I said before you trade. I would not take any recommendations from anybody on the internet. I learned how to do this yourself, analyze these things yourself, learn technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and investing can be a lot of fun. Well, I hope you have a good week next week, and happy trading to you all.